sunset tonight. I don't have a job to find.
Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete here, and this is my horror movie superlative series that I collaborate with my good buddy Carlin that he and I created. What we do is we go through a full year of horror movies and we pick out our horror movie superlatives, picking out a film for each of these categories. Most amazing, best so bad it's good film, most WTF, best score, most unique, most overrated, and most underrated. It's pretty fun, so what you do is after you watch my video, you go to Carlin's channel. I have a link to his video in the description down below. And then if you'd like, you can go to the community tab on his page. And after you watch both videos, you can vote for who you thought had the better picks. And there is a tie option. Also, let us know in the comments what your picks are, because it's just sharing of opinions. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We just share opinions, talk about horror. It's all good fun. And let us know if you agree or disagree. Just talking horror. It's a good time. And if you can really help us out, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like, comment. Help us grow our channels. It's greatly appreciated. We both put a lot of work in, and we love to entertain. So that really go to help us out. So let's get started. Let's pick out our horror movie superlatives for 2002. My selection for the most amazing horror film to come out in 2002. This was an easy one. Dog Soldiers. Hands down, definitely the most amazing horror film to come out in 2002. It takes action, horror, dark comedy, and it combines into a wonderful blast of a movie. And it's not just about werewolves. It's like a military-themed survival horror that kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat from start to finish, not knowing what's going to happen. And of course, it used practical effects for its werewolves, which is just always excellent. Practical, always above CGI. The creature designs are great. The way they design the werewolves, how they kind of walk tall and everything, it's really fun. Being a veteran, I also love the camaraderie among the soldiers because it kind of makes you care about their fate. There's actually good characters in this film. There's not just a bunch of carnage candy for it. Like I said, maybe I'm more invested because I'm a veteran, but I think each character has a distinct personality and you see their character development. And I also love the setting. It's like in the remote Scottish Highlands. And I think that's a beautiful backdrop for a horror movie in the cabin, out in the middle of the woods. It just really makes it, excellent. Lots of action in this movie because, it's military themed and you got werewolves attacking the house. I love the end when you got Spoon. He puts up his fists to fight the werewolf because he's out of ammo and weapons. So he just puts his dukes up, ready to go try and fight this werewolf. It really makes you invested in these characters. It's such a fun action pack. It's got comedy. It's so great. I think the script is really sharp. It's got witty banter of that kind of European humor that works really well for some people, and it does here. Great balance of humor and horror in this film. It's really well done. If you love werewolf movies, if you love action movies, this is a great one for you. Great practical effects, memorable characters, great setting, clever writing. Overall, just a really great, fun movie. Dog Soldiers, most amazing for 2002. My selection for the best so bad it's good film goes to Eight-Legged Freaks. Yeah, this film's a must-watch if you're into campy, fun horror movies that are just so bad that they're good. First off, giant spiders. I really ain't got to say much more. I mean, the premise alone is enough to make you want to chuckle and watch this movie. Radioactive waste turns regular spiders into massive killer arachnids that terrorize a small town. It's ridiculous and over the top, and it's exactly what you want in a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a throwback to those early monster movies like them. Our lead actor is none other than David Arquette, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, that's a thing that actually happened. But I think he's perfect for this kind of film. His performance as the reluctant hero has a good balance of serious and goofy. Like, again, you don't take it too seriously. You can tell he was having a blast with this movie. And, the CGI spiders, I should say, are really outdated. It doesn't look great, but I think that's part of the film's charm. The low budget effects add to the film's appeal. I mean, the spider attack scenes are kind of fun to watch because you're trying to see how wacky people, all these wacky ways people are going to die. Like I said, if you like those old creature films of the past, this is kind of a throwback to it. Small town setting, quirky characters, over the top scenario, goofy special effects. Whether you got people's exaggerated reactions, the absurd spider antics, the cheesy dialogue, I think there's something to keep you entertained. It's the perfect blend of horror and comedy and bad and good. And my pick for the most WTF movie I think it could be more different than my previous movie, but yeah, my most WTF movie is Irreversible. I've only watched this movie once, and I'm not gonna watch it again. Not because it's a bad movie. It's just a tough watch to sit through. I had this movie on a list video where I talked about 10 amazing movies that I'll never watch again. Irreversible is a very well made movie. I like the way the movies kind of goes in reverse chronological order. Cinematography is just wonderful. The performances are also well done. There's just one segment in this movie, and if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That one is like the epitome of WTF. I kept saying, WTF am I watching? You know, why is this going on so long? You know, why the fuck is this so graphic and brutal? Why the fuck is this happening? It's just, that's what you keep asking yourself. I mean, writer-director Gaspar Noé, I may have pronounced it wrong, sorry. I think he had an intent on making the viewer feel a certain way, and he succeeded. He made you feel uncomfortable, angry, scared, hopeless, and helpless. And, you know, when you watch a horror movie, you may exclaim, WTF, you know, at certain scenes of intense gore. Irreversible is also a WTF movie. Maybe not for the same reasons, but just for the realism and brutality of that one scene. And you just witness it, and you can almost feel sick watching it. Again, very well made movie, but it's just that one segment of the movie. You keep asking yourself, WTF? And for those reasons, that's why I picked Irreversible as my most WTF movie of 2002. On to Best Gore, I selected Eli Roth's Cabin Fever. It's not a bad movie. I actually kind of like this one. I love the special effects and gore. You know, Eli Roth really doesn't hold back with the carnage, and he doesn't in a lot of his movies. You know, for the first moment when you see the sick man show up at the kid's cabin, you know he just looks effed up. Then he starts puking blood all over the car, and you get pure practical effects here. The first time we see this infection, you know, the whole part just kind of looks gross. You know, we get that cool fire stunt when the man is set on fire. A good, great special effects. But we're just kind of getting started. You know, these kids start getting sick and developing boils, and their skin is all red and infected. These are the type of effects that kind of make you squirm all over. You know, when Marcy's infected, she's in the tub shaving her legs, and her skin is peeling off. Her back is all messed up. Paul, he falls into the lake with the body of Henry, the guy that they burned, and it just looks kind of gross as hell. Part when the dog ate Karen's face, and, you know, she's finally put out of her misery. You know, all the effects of the infection in this movie just look painful and horrible for the victim. Yeah, it's a great horror movie that's just fun to watch with great special effects and great practical special effects and great gore. So, yeah, go check out 2002's Cabin Fever if you haven't done so. My pick for the most unique horror film goes to Bubba Hotep. Yeah, this isn't your typical horror flick. It stars Bruce Campbell, who you might know from The Evil Dead. He plays an elderly Elvis Presley, and in the story, Elvis didn't die. Instead, he switches places with this Elvis impersonator, and he ends up in a nursing home. Alongside him is Ozzie Davis, playing a character that believes he's John F. Kennedy, having survived the assassination attempt, just now living in obscurity. When members of the nursing home start dying, they discover the perpetrator is an Egyptian mummy, actually. Now, it doesn't sound unique. I don't know what does. You get a blend of horror, comedy, drama. The movie manages to balance these elements really well. You find yourself laughing at the absurdity, feeling like sadness of the character's situations, and genuinely getting and creeped out by the horror elements at some points. Plus, you get Bruce Campbell in this film, and he gives you what you expect from Bruce Campbell. He's got a unique style and charisma that's a great addition to this film. And I also have to mention this film was directed by Don Coscarelli, known for Phantasm. He brings a unique vision and style to this film, not only making it like a horror movie about the commentary on aging and loneliness. So, yeah, this movie has a cult status. Bubba Hotep has garnered a pretty decent fan base over the years, and it deserves it. It's got originality, memorable performances, and it's just a lot of fun movie. It's a movie that defies genres and expectations. That's why I think it's so unique. It's not your typical horror movie. Must watch for a horror enthusiast looking for something different. So, check it out. My selection for most overrated, and my most overrated picks are typically controversial, but I selected 28 Days Later. Yeah, I'll say, you know, preferences kind of shape us. You know, we embrace what resonates and reject what doesn't, you know, with ourselves. And I think the world would be a dull place if we all shared the same tastes. But being honest, I just never really cared for this film. I don't hate it. I've watched it once, but never really had an urge to watch it again. It's not poorly made, but This film doesn't really do anything for me. I think it's a typical zombie movie, and after you've seen a few, you've seen them all, and that's how I feel. People say it's their favorite zombie movie of all time, and that's great. You know, we all like different things for different reasons. Some of the issues I have with this movie is I just think it's very predictable, fairly easy to figure out who's going to survive and who won't. The pacing was also an issue with me. Parts rushed stuff through, while then they really dragged at other parts, just waiting for something to happen. And I can't remember any of the characters' names. None of them really stuck with me. I remember kind of what two of them look like, three of them look like, but that's about it. I don't feel that 28 Days Later lives up to the hype that it receives. And if you feel strongly against this and you love this movie, let me know in the comments down below. But what do you love about this movie? I just felt a really predictable zombie movie, and it didn't really do anything special for me. Yeah, I just seemed to copy a lot of stuff in the past, but not bad. I just do feel it is most overrated. And finally, my selection for most underrated, a category that I also love, like Carla mentioned. I do love this category. Dahmer. Yeah, you may have not even heard of this movie because it often flies under the radar when people are discussing horror movies, especially from 2002. It's really unsettling, compelling portrayal of one of America's most infamous serial killers. So, well before he showed up in MCU as Hawkeye, Jerry Renner takes center stage as a notorious cannibal killer. I think he gives he has a chilling nuance to his performance as Dahmer. His performance is really haunting and kind of humanizing, and it gives viewers a glimpse into like his disturbing psyche, but it really doesn't turn him into a character. Jeremy Renner's performance is worth for the watch alone. I mean, don't get me wrong, he doesn't make you feel sorry for him. Rather, he opens up the curtains and gives you like the Dahmer you didn't see. The film doesn't sensationalize Dahmer like other films have done about serial killers. It gives you more of a like psychological, introspective angle on Jeffrey Dahmer. It goes into his past, exploring some factors that may have contributed to his, crazy, monstrous actions. The film has a gritty, almost documentary-like feel to it, and I think it adds to its authenticity. It doesn't shy away from showing his atrocious acts, but it kind of attempts to understand the man behind the crimes. Not really humanizing him, but just giving you a different, perspective. Doesn't sensationalize it at all. You're supposed to hate this man, and you do. It's a psychological horror movie, and if you like true crime stories, check it out. It is worth your time. It's an underrated film that offers like a haunting, thought-provoking look into the mind of one of America's most notorious serial killers. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all my horror movie superlatives for 2002. Here's a quick recap of my picks. Now, don't forget to let Carl and I know what your picks are in the comments down below. And if you haven't done so already, please go to Carl's channel, link in the description down below. Watch his video with the same name. Then if you like, you can go to community tab on his page and vote for who you thought you had the better picks. Whether they were closer, resembled your own, better justifications, it doesn't matter. And there's also a tie option. So, I'll see you in 2 weeks for more Horror Movie Superlatives, where we tackle all the horror movies for 2003. Thanks again. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It'll just take a moment. Really help us both out. We both greatly appreciate it. Until next time, I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. Remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails.